It's Wednesday, June 15th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and we have the latest local news for you today, including a procession to honor a Trumbull police dog, an arrest following a man's bomb threat the police say he made to steal a car, and the Monroe community in mourning following the loss of a volunteer firefighter. Rob Adams will have a look at the forecast and a Nutmeg sports update, and Donald Ang later on will take a look back on this day in history. But first, a man Milford police said asked to use the phone at a local restaurant and called in a bomb threat to Chevrolet of Milford June 13th was arrested on a number of charges. Police say that 43-year-old Dylan Esposito of Killingworth called in the bomb scare because he had hoped to steal a truck while the dealership was being evacuated. Officers responded to the dealership and began clearing the building and area of people. The Connecticut State Police bomb squad was called and responded to the scene. The business and area was checked and determined that there was no bomb, and a person being evacuated told officers that they had seen a suspicious person that had been walking in the parking lot around the time of the scare. That person indicated Esposito, who was located in the area by officers and detained for questioning. Police said that Esposito had stolen a key to a 2017 Chevy Silverado earlier in the day and was planning to use the distraction of the 911 call to steal the truck. Esposito was found to be in possession of a firearm, and police said he does not hold a valid Connecticut pistol permit. He was released on a $10,000 bond and will appear in court on July 12th. And the Monroe community is mourning the loss of a 24-year-old volunteer firefighter who died Monday night when the motorcycle he was driving was involved in a crash on Main Street. A lifelong town resident, Forrest Ryan, was a member of the Massac High School class of 2010 and graduated from Lincoln Tech Institute in 2012. His family says he was working with County Electrical Construction, and he also owned and operated 4 Evergreen Landscaping. He was also a member of the volunteer fire department since 2009. His family said he'll be remembered for his zest for life, contagious laugh, and the fact that he always put others before himself. His family went on to say he was hardworking, dedicated, loyal, respectful, and it was a pleasure to be in his company. They went on to say that he felt a true sense of freedom when he was riding his Harley Davidson. Memorial contributions can be made to the Monroe Volunteer Fire Department. They're located at 18 Shelton Road in Monroe, and you can get more information at monroecourier.com. And Milford firefighters located a man who had been stranded on Charles Island Tuesday and brought him to safety. The department headed out to look for the man Tuesday at about 11 in the morning after being alerted that the U.S. Coast Guard had found a person in a raft about 2 miles off of Milford. That person told the Coast Guard that he had left early evening Monday and that a person who had accompanied him swam to Charles Island to get help. According to a fire department spokesman, they dispatched a 30-foot fireboat, a 19-foot fireboat, and a 9-foot rescue jet ski to search the island and the surrounding waters. And during that operation, a person approached the command officer and said that he was the person they were looking for. The man told firefighters that he had been on the island all night waiting for the next low tide to make it back to shore. Neither of the 2 men reported any serious injuries. NBC Connecticut had reported earlier Tuesday that the U.S. Coast Guard took part in the rescue of the 2 men who were stranded on the raft. A member of the Coast Guard Auxiliary and his wife at the time were heading to Port Jefferson in New York to Block Island, Rhode Island, when they came across a man in distress on the inflatable boat. The news site quoted the U.S. Coast Guard as saying that the man was waving a rag or a shirt in a sign of distress and told rescuers that his friend had swam to Charles Island. And the Trumbull Police Department has lost one of its most highly regarded officers. K9 Cyrus passed away unexpectedly Tuesday morning, according to Trumbull Police. Officers, personnel, and animal hospital clinic staff saluted K9 Cyrus for his service during a procession yesterday. Police say that in his career, he assisted in making numerous felony arrests, located missing persons, and assisted with numerous drug arrests. They said the entire Trumbull Police family and community will miss him. Cyrus had recently assisted in a large heroin bust, but most importantly, police said he was a great partner to Officer R.J. Carlson and a beloved member of the Carlson family. According to Police Chief Michael Lombardo and First Selectman Tim Herbst, they stressed the importance of the department's canine officers in stopping the spread of heroin in town. But you can get a lot more on that story at TrumbullTimes.com. State police detectives seized firearms, narcotics, and cash after serving a search warrant in Bridgeport. On June 13th, detectives conducted surveillance on an apartment at 182 Hanover Street in Bridgeport after receiving information that the resident there, 29-year-old William Akeem Hooks, was trafficking in assault rifles and other firearms that were being obtained from southern states along the East Coast. While conducting surveillance, detectives said they witnessed Hooks sell a firearm. Hooks was arrested without incident, at which time he was found to be in possession of 1 gram of crack cocaine and about $1,300 in cash. Detectives then searched Hooks' apartment, where they seized a loaded Smith & Wesson .22 caliber rifle with a high-capacity magazine, which is classified as an assault rifle and was reported stolen from Darlington County, South Carolina. Also seized was a loaded Glock Model 9mm semi-automatic handgun with a high-capacity magazine. William Hooks was transported to Troop G, where he was processed and held on bond pending his court date. The Department of Children and Families were also contacted, and a referral was made for 2 children that were in the apartment at the time. And Fairfield Animal Control is trying to locate the owner of a dog that bit a high school student on Monday morning in an effort to learn if the dog has had its rabies vaccination. Fairfield Patch reports that the 16-year-old high school student was walking to his car parked on Knapp's Highway near Melville Avenue at about 10 in the morning on Monday. As he approached his car, a middle-aged, dark-haired woman on a cell phone passed him in the road walking a small, mostly black dog. And Fairfield Animal Control said that the small dog jumped up on the student's leg and the dog owner yelled for the pet to get down. The student then went to his car, where he discovered that he had in fact been bitten. The dog owner was then out of sight and could not be located by the student. The student, after visiting his physician, has been advised that he is now a candidate to receive post-exposure rabies shots due to the unknown rabies vaccine history of the biting dog. Animal control officials said that they need to locate that owner, and anyone who witnessed the incident or knows who the dog owner is asked to contact them at 203-254-4857. But we are going to switch gears now and throw it over to Rob Adams for a look at the forecast.
All right, Kate, good morning. Hi, everyone. Beautiful day today. If you like warm but not overly hot temperatures, today is your day. Sunny day, high near 81. Tonight, partly cloudy. We're going to drop down to 58. Not as cold as it was last night. At least where I was, it was 49 when I woke up this morning. Pretty chilly. The wind out of the southwest around 6, becoming calm as the evening goes along. Thursday, partly sunny and a high near 76. To Thursday night, partly cloudy and 58. Friday, mostly sunny and 76. We'll drop to 54 Friday night, but sunny and 80 on Saturday. And for all of you dads and for the moms as well, we don't forget about them, sunny and 81 for Sunday. Monday, we will go sunny with a high of 83. And Tuesday, maybe a chance of some showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny and a high near 81. We're actually kind of lucky today, Kate, because there are some storms passing to our south, going through the New York metro area, kind of into New Jersey, and apparently some pretty nasty storms. But we're going to dodge all that. It's going to be out and across the Sound and even beyond Long Island Sound out into the ocean. So we're in good shape today. Temperatures around the region, New Canaan at 78, Danbury you're at 73, and right here in Shelton, just a beautiful day. Sunny skies, blue skies, 77 degrees.
All right, thanks for the good news, Rob. We are going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Eng will take a look back on this day in history. Rob will have your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more local news coming up after this.
Connecticut is coming back to hometown banking, to a partner that makes small businesses feel big, where community comes first, where you get the know-how only neighbors can deliver, where saving time is important too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well. With the 24-month Bank Well Smart CD, you can earn 1.35% APY and raise your rate and add to your CD.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 1 million people have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment programming since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We're back on your coffee break. It's June 15th and time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Ang. Don, what do you got for us today?
Well, Kate, we've got the best remembered anyway, journeyman in sports history. But first we're going to go to 1667. The first human blood transfusion administered by Dr. Jean-Baptiste Denis. He transfused the blood of a sheep into a 15-year-old boy who somehow survived the transfusion. He did another transfusion into a laborer who also survived both instances, likely due to the small amount of blood that was actually transfused, something on the order of a few ounces. These early experiments provoked a big controversy at the time. By 1670, the Vatican had condemned the experiments. Blood transfusion fell into obscurity for the next 150 years. To 1776, Separation Day in Delaware. Delaware votes to suspend the British Crown government and officially secede from Pennsylvania. To 1816 we go at the Villa Diodati in the village of Cologne, Switzerland. Lord Byron reads Phantasmagoria to his four house guests, Percy Shelley, his wife Mary, Claire Clairmont, and John Polidori, challenges them to write a ghost story of their own, which culminates in Mary Shelley writing the novel Frankenstein, Polidori writing the short story The Vampire, and Byron himself writing the unfinished vampire novel, oddly titled Fragment of a Novel, and the poem Darkness. And finally now we go to 1938 for this.
Johnny Vandermeer became a baseball immortal when he pitched 2 consecutive no-hit games. On a June afternoon, he shut out Boston 3-0 and returned to the mound 4 days later to beat Brooklyn 6-0. The record has not been equaled.
23-year-old rookie left-hander Johnny Vandermeer throws his second consecutive no-hitter, a feat no other pitcher ever accomplished. His career, unfortunately, never really took off. The following year, he slipped coming off a wet mound and ended up winning only 5 games. By 1940, he was struggling with his control and then lost 2 years to military service. He ended his major league career with a record of 119 wins, 121 losses, although he did pitch a third no-hitter at age 40 for the Tulsa Oilers of the Texas League. That's your look back in history for June 15th, and I'm Donald Lang.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, getting back to a little more news today. After 2 months of making arrests, the Trumbull Police Department has closed its investigation into an employee theft ring that took place at the Home Depot on Monroe Turnpike between January and October of last year. 36-year-old Sean Cochran of Stratford was the 7th and final employee to be arrested after turning himself in on a warrant for larceny in the 5th degree and conspiracy to commit larceny. Police had previously arrested 6 other Home Depot employees who stole an estimated $300,000 worth of merchandise, most of which consisted of power tools. Trumbull police hadn't made an arrest in the case since April 22nd, when Bridgeport resident 51-year-old Dubois Smith was charged with third-degree larceny and conspiracy. The first arrest happened back on April 10th, and that was of 22-year-old Santiago Gonzalez and Javel Santa Maria, 21, of Monroe. They were both arrested for the same charges. But you can get more on that story at TrumbullTimes.com. We're going to throw it back to Rob for a Nutmeg sports update. Rob.
All right, Kate, thank you very much. Let's dive in from the Ridgefield Press on this now kind of thin time of year, but still all great stories. Tim Murphy writes that Tim Reed finishes with a 2-round, 3-under par total of 139 to edge Rusty Cazalet and John Wagner to win the President's Cup tournament at the Ridgefield Golf Course. Cazalet and Wagner each shot 140 to tie for second place. Considered to be one of the Ridgefield Golf Club's 2 major competitions of the year, along with the club championship in July, the President's Cup is a 2-day stroke play event that goes to the golfer who posts the lowest total net score. Reed tied for 4th with a 69 in the opening round, then posted the best score, a 70, in the second round. Wagner had the low score of 67 in the first round and then shot a 73 in the second round to tie Cazalet, who had rounds of 68 and 72. You can hear A.J. Simonowski and I getting jealous as we read these numbers. David O'Shea finished 4th with a 2-day total of 141. Joe Brenia and Bob Luke tied for 5th place with matching 142s. From American Legion Baseball yesterday, Trumbull took care of Ridgefield once again, 14-3. Trumbull now 8-0 on the year. Frank Puglia pitched 5 strong innings, giving up only a hit, a walk, striking out 3 in what was only a 6-inning game due to the mercy rule. Matt Fazoli had 3 hits, including a first-inning double, and had 2 RBIs. Andrew Loico had 3 hits and an RBI for Trumbull as well. Also, Stanford beat Darien 3-1. It was Greenwich nipping Fairfield 6-5 as Greenwich remains perfect. In the 17 under division, it was Greenwich over Fairfield 3-2 and Stanford all over the Darien New Canaan squad 10-0. Staying in New Canaan, the Joe Sikorsky Memorial Award is given annually to those seniors who display the traits which the coach saw in the best of his athletes: leadership, loyalty, enthusiasm, dedication, and pride in New Canaan High School. This year's winners are David Strupp, Sammy Stewart, and Catherine Granito. Strupp was a 2-sport captain who helped lead the Rams football and boys lacrosse teams to state championships this year. The New Canaan senior was an All-FCAC first-team selection in both sports, and this past week was named an All-American in lacrosse. Granito and Stewart were both captains on the New Canaan girls lacrosse team, and each scored 2 key goals during the second half of a 7-4 win over Barlow in the Class M state championship game on Saturday. Each was also a member of the New Canaan hockey team as well, had very, very good high school careers as well. From the NECBL, the Danbury Westerners lost to the Keene Swamp Bats last night by a score of 6-3 up in New Hampshire. Jonathan Galvez's RBI single in the 4th scored the former Met Andy Chavez to give the Bridgeport Bluefish all that they needed to beat the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 1-0 last night. The Fish continue the series in Maryland tonight. The Stratford Brakettes are off until Thursday. And voting for Week 9 in the HAN FCAC Athlete of the Week continues online at han.network. Again, due to a technical glitch, we had to redo it for this week. We'll also have Week 10 athlete nominees coming up this week as well. So keep voting for Week 9. We'll get them all recognized next week on Nutmeg Sports. You can vote right through the end of Sunday night. That's it for sports. Things thin these days, but still sports to talk about. We'll do some on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Kate, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Rob. Well, getting back to some more news today, Stratford residents in Districts 2 and 5 will go to the polls on October 13th to fill a pair of vacant seats on the Town Council. The current Stratford Town Council members voted unanimously at Monday's meeting to set the unique date for the special election for those seats. The special races to fill the vacancies left by Mark Dumas and Joe Gresco will be held on Thursday. Republican Registrar of Voters Lou DeCillo said that Tuesday that he and Democratic Registrar Rick Marcone had looked at having the special elections on several Tuesdays in October, but they conflicted with several holidays throughout the month. DeCillo said they opted not to contest the special races on Election Day, November 8th, because it would have required voters in Districts 2 and 5 to vote in different rooms and fill out a separate ballot than the one featuring the races for president and statewide offices. And in Easton, Sacred Heart University will present its proposal for the town-owned South Park property at a special Board of Selectmen meeting June 16th at 7 p.m. in the community room at the Easton Public Library. If time allows, public questions and comments will be allowed according to the agenda. When Sacred Heart University entered into an agreement to purchase the 150 acres of land in Milford last year, university officials had suspended their proposed purchase of the 29-acre South Park Avenue property in Easton for use as a natatorium and sports center. But now they've renewed their interest, according to the Easton Courier, but you can get more details on that at eastoncourier.com. And friends and family members who are unable to attend the New Canaan High School graduation today can watch the entire ceremony live at ncadvertiser.com. NCHS's TV broadcasting students with NCTV Channel 78 will produce the video of the ceremony, which begins at 5 o'clock at Dunning Field. The online video show can be watched free of charge, as we said, at ncadvertiser.com. And Connecticut's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection has designated Father's Day, Sunday, June 19th, as the first of 2 free fishing license days scheduled for 2016. A second is scheduled for Saturday, August 13th. DEEP encourages all anglers to cast it forward by inviting someone who has never fished or someone who has not fished in a long time to accompany them on a fishing trip. The free license to fish on this Sunday is available through the mobile-friendly DEP online sportsman licensing program system, which you can find at ct.gov/DEEP. Well, we are going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories that we're following today on your coffee break after this.
For more than 50 years, SSS has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, SSS will get the job done fast, big or small. At SSS, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning.
Find us at SSSclean.com or 203-847-8000.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. New Canaan is 6 minutes down the road. New Canaan's a beautiful little town to walk around. I work in Westport. My commute is 20 minutes. It's close to Westchester, where my family is, so the location is ideal. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
At the Language School in Ridgefield, we teach practical language for real life, tailored to your professional needs or those of your children. Offering more than a dozen languages, the school specializes in creating customized classes for businesses, government agencies, and healthcare professionals in Fairfield and Westchester counties. Native speakers from around the world will instruct students of all ages in the language and the culture using a hands-on method. Find out more about what makes us different at thelanguageschoolglobal.com or call us at 203-241-7010.
Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DockShop.com.
What's happening up in Hartford and what's trending in the Nutmeg State?
Join Kate Czaplinski
And Josh Fisher
on CT Pulse live Wednesdays at 12:30 to find out.
We talk to the leaders and newsmakers while breaking down the stories you should be paying attention to each week.
With the help of HAN's editorial cartoonist Doug Smith, we take a humorous look at the news of the week. We talk about everything you were told you should avoid bringing up in polite company.
CT Pulse, Wednesdays at 12:30 on the HAN Network. And we're back on this Wednesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today, including that a man Milford police said asked to use the phone at a local restaurant and called in a bomb threat to Chevrolet of Milford June 13th was arrested on a number of charges. Police say that 43-year-old Dylan Esposito of Killingworth called in the bomb scare because he had hoped to steal a truck while the dealership was being evacuated.
Officers responded to the dealership and began clearing the area of people. The Connecticut State Police bomb squad was called and responded to the scene, and the business and area was checked out to determine that there was no bomb. A person being evacuated told officers that they had seen a suspicious person walking in the parking lot around the time of the scare. Police said that Esposito had stolen a key to a 2017 Chevy Silverado earlier in the day and was planning on using the distraction of the 911 call to steal the truck. Esposito was found to be in possession of a firearm as well, and police said he did not hold a valid Connecticut pistol permit. Esposito was released on a $10,000 bond and is due in court on July 12th. And the Monroe community is mourning the loss of a 24-year-old volunteer firefighter who died Monday night when the motorcycle he was driving was involved in a crash on Main Street. A lifelong town resident, Forrest Ryan, was a member of the Massac High School class of 2010 and had graduated from Lincoln Technical Institute in 2012. He was working with County Electrical Construction and owned and operated his own landscaping company that he called 4 Evergreen Landscaping. He had been a member of the Monroe Volunteer Fire Department since 2009. His family said he'll be remembered for his zest for life, his contagious laugh, and the fact that he always put others before himself. His family said he always felt a true sense of freedom when riding his Harley-Davidson. Memorial contributions can be made to the Monroe Volunteer Fire Department at 18 Shelton Road, but you can get more information at monroecourier.com. And Milford firefighters located a man who had been stranded on Charles Island Tuesday and brought him to safety. The department headed out to look for the man at about 11 a.m. yesterday after being alerted that the U.S. Coast Guard had found a person in a raft about 2 miles off of Milford. That person told the Coast Guard that he had left in the early evening Monday and that a person who had accompanied him had swam to Charles Island to get help. They then found the man, and the man told firefighters that he had been on the island all night waiting for the next low tide to make it back to shore. Neither of the 2 men reported any serious injuries. And the Trumbull Police Department has lost one of its most highly regarded officers. K-9 Cyrus passed away unexpectedly Tuesday morning, according to Trumbull Police. Trumbull officers, personnel, and animal hospital clinic staff saluted K-9 Cyrus for his service during a procession yesterday. Police say that in his career, Cyrus assisted in making numerous felony arrests, locating missing persons, and assisting with numerous drug arrests. The entire Trumbull Police family and community will miss him, police said. Just recently, Cyrus had assisted in a large heroin bust last month. Well, we are going to take one final look at the forecast with Rob Adams. Rob?
Beautiful day, Kate. Sunny, 81. Wind out of the west from 8 to 10. Partly cloudy, 58 tonight. The wind will die down a bit as we move along. Thursday, partly sunny and 76, 58 under partly cloudy skies tomorrow night. Friday, mostly sunny and 76 with a low of 54 on Friday night. Saturday, sunny and 80. Sunday, sunny and 81. Monday, sunny, 83. And Tuesday, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Don't blame Andrew Mitchell. He's only behind the camera. Partly sunny and a high near 81 degrees. Beautiful around the region right now. Darien at New Canaan at 78. Danbury at 73. Shelton, we are up to 78 degrees, and I'll see you for Nutmeg at 2 o'clock.
All right, thanks so much, Rob. Well, as Rob says, Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock, and CT Polls coming up today at 12:30 since it is Wednesday. We're going to be talking about safe boating in light of all these serious accidents on Long Island Sound in the past few days. We're also going to be talking about Connecticut politicians' reaction to the Orlando shooting and much more, so be sure to check that out at 12:30. But we are going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. We'll see you tomorrow at 11. Have a great day.